If you wake up and your manhood feels cold, weak, or just not like its old self, don't blame age alone. That feeling might be your first clue that blood flow is slowing down exactly where you need it most. I'm Dr. Sarah, a men's health specialist, and after 20 years of helping men over 60 regain their circulation, I've discovered something most doctors miss. The problem often isn't your age or hormones, but what's on your breakfast plate. That harmless toast or bowl of cereal you've eaten for years could be quietly narrowing the blood vessels that control your erections and vitality. Subscribe now, because what I'm about to share comes from both cutting-edge research and real patient success stories that you won't hear in a typical doctor's office. In this video, I'll reveal how one ordinary food eaten first thing in the morning could help bring back warmth, power, and firmness. It's not some rare superfood you've likely walked past it countless times without knowing its potential. The science is fascinating and could make a real difference in restoring what you thought was gone for good. Now, I've spent 2 decades partnering with men just like you, working alongside their doctors to address what many consider the most personal aspect of aging. What I've discovered isn't just another medical theory. It's a practical understanding of how your morning nutrition directly impacts your circulation throughout the day. Let me start with Robert's story, because his experience perfectly illustrates what I'm about to share with you. Robert is 68, a retired electrician from Pennsylvania. He'd been married to Helen for 42 years, and like many men his age, he'd noticed gradual changes. That morning vitality he'd taken for granted was becoming inconsistent. He wasn't just talking about energy, he meant that specific masculine confidence that comes from feeling fully present in his body. When Robert first came to see me, he was already working well with his cardiologist. His heart was strong, his blood pressure managed, but something was missing. Robert put it simply, "Dr. Sarah, I feel like my circulation just isn't reaching where it needs to go anymore." His doctor had run the standard tests, everything looked normal on paper, but Robert knew his body, and he knew something had changed. This is where my research into morning nutrition became crucial. You see, what happens in the first hour after you wake up sets the tone for your entire circulatory system for the day. Your blood vessels are incredibly responsive to what you put into your body, especially when they're in that vulnerable morning state. Here's what most people don't realize about circulation and aging. As we move through our 60s and beyond, our bodies produce less of a vital molecule called nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as your circulation's master key. It signals your blood vessels to relax and open wide, allowing blood to flow freely to every part of your body that needs nourishment. When nitric oxide levels drop, it's like your circulation system switches from a superhighway to a series of narrow country roads. Everything still functions, but the efficiency isn't what it used to be. This affects not just energy and stamina, but that fundamental sense of masculine vitality that's so important to how we feel about ourselves. Now, here's where your breakfast becomes absolutely critical. Many men start their day with foods that actually work against their circulation. That toast with jam, that bowl of sugary cereal, even that innocent-looking bagel. These foods cause a rapid spike in blood sugar that triggers inflammation in your blood vessels. It's like starting each day by partially closing the very pathways your body needs to function at its best. But Robert and I took a different approach. Working with his doctor's knowledge and approval, we focused on one specific food that research shows can dramatically support nitric oxide production. That food is spinach. I know what you're thinking, spinach for breakfast sounds unusual. But here's the fascinating science behind why this works so well. Spinach is loaded with natural nitrates, which your body converts directly into nitric oxide. Research from the Journal of the American Heart Association involving people over 60 showed that consuming nitrateric leafy greens like spinach can improve blood vessel function by 26% within just a few hours. Think about that for a moment. Within hours of eating spinach, your blood vessels become more flexible and responsive. It's like giving your circulation system a daily tune-up, right there at your breakfast table. Robert started simple. Instead of his usual breakfast routine, he began each morning with a handful of fresh spinach mixed into scrambled eggs. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just real food supporting his body's natural processes. Within 3 weeks, Robert noticed something he hadn't felt in months. That morning, vitality wasn't just occasionally present, it was becoming reliable again. but spinach is just the foundation. When I work with patients like Robert, I always emphasize what I call the circulation support system, 5 specific foods that work together to optimize blood flow throughout your body. The second component is Greek yogurt combined with berries. Here's why this combination is so powerful for circulation. Greek yogurt contains probiotics that reduce inflammation throughout your digestive system. When your gut is healthy and inflammation-free, it supports better circulation everywhere in your body. The berries, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries are packed with compounds called anthocyanins that protect the nitric oxide in your system from breaking down too quickly. Many of my patients tell me they feel more sustained energy when they start including this combination. It's not a caffeine buzz that crashes later, it's steady, reliable vitality that supports you throughout the morning. The third food might surprise you, it's avocado. Now, I know some men worry about the fat content, but here's what the research shows us. The healthy fats in avocado actually help your blood vessel walls stay flexible and responsive. Rigid blood vessels can't expand properly when they need to accommodate increased blood flow. The monounsaturated fats in avocado work like a natural lubricant for your circulation system, keeping everything moving smoothly. Frank, another patient of mine, is 71 and a former postal worker. He was skeptical about adding avocado to his morning routine until he tried it for a month. Frank told me, "Dr. Sarah, I didn't realize how much tension I'd been carrying in my body until it started to ease up. It's like my whole system just relaxes better now." The fourth component is dark chocolate, but not just any chocolate. We're talking about real dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao content. The flavonoids in dark chocolate have been shown to support healthy blood pressure and improve the flexibility of blood vessels. Just a small piece, maybe 2 squares, provides enough of these beneficial compounds to make a difference. I always tell my patients to think of dark chocolate as medicine disguised as a treat. The key is choosing quality over quantity. Look for chocolate with minimal added sugar and maximum cacao content. Your circulation system will thank you for the upgrade. The fifth food completes what I call the circulation powerhouse, pure pomegranate juice. Now, this one requires some caution, which I'll explain, but the benefits are remarkable. Pomegranate juice contains some of the most powerful antioxidants found in nature. These compounds, called polyphenols, don't just protect your existing nitric oxide, they actually help your body produce more of it. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that men over 60 who consumed pomegranate juice regularly experienced significant improvements in blood vessel health. Some participants saw reductions in arterial wall thickness of over 30% after 1 year of regular consumption. However, here's the important safety note I always discuss with patients and their doctors. Pomegranate juice can interact with blood-thinning medications like warfarin. If you're taking any medications that affect blood clotting, you absolutely must discuss pomegranate juice with your doctor before adding it to your routine. This brings me to a crucial point about working with your healthcare team. Everything I share with patients is done in full coordination with their doctors. I'm not suggesting anyone replace their medical care. I'm talking about enhancing it with evidence-based nutrition that supports your body's natural healing processes. Charles, who's 66 and a retired teacher, put it perfectly when he told me, "My doctor appreciates that I'm taking such an active interest in my health. We work together on this stuff, and I feel like I have more control over how I age." Let me explain exactly how to implement this circulation-supporting breakfast routine. The beauty is in its simplicity, and you can adapt it to your preferences and schedule. Start with the spinach foundation. If you're making scrambled eggs, add a generous handful of fresh spinach to the pan for the last minute of cooking. If you prefer oatmeal, stir chopped spinach into your bowl. You'll barely taste it, but your circulation system will feel the difference. Some of my patients make smoothies, blending spinach with a little fruit to mask any earthy flavor. Next, add your Greek yogurt and berries. This can be as simple as a small bowl of yogurt topped with a handful of mixed berries, or you can blend everything together for a quick, portable breakfast. The key is consistency. Your body responds best to regular, sustained nutrition rather than occasional healthy meals surrounded by poor choices. For the avocado, try slicing it onto whole grain toast, mashing it with a little lemon juice, or adding chunks to your eggs. If you're not used to avocado, start with small amounts. and gradually increase as your taste adjusts. The dark chocolate is easy. Just keep a high-quality bar on hand and have a couple of squares with your morning coffee or tea. Think of it as your daily medicine dose, not a dessert. For pomegranate juice, start with just 4 ounces diluted with water if the flavor is too intense. Some of my patients add a splash to their morning smoothie or drink it alongside their other breakfast components. What you can expect is gradual but noticeable improvement. Most men tell me they start feeling more reliable morning energy within the first week. The circulation improvements typically become more apparent over the following 3 to 4 weeks. Some notice changes sooner, others take longer. Both responses are completely normal and healthy. The science supporting this approach continues to strengthen. A comprehensive analysis published in the British Medical Journal, reviewing over 70 studies, confirmed that the Mediterranean-style eating pattern, which includes many of these same foods, significantly improves cardiovascular health and blood vessel elasticity in people over 60. I'd love to hear about your own experience with these circulation-supporting foods. Have you noticed any changes in your morning energy or overall vitality when you've focused on specific breakfast choices? Your experience could encourage others in our community who might be hesitant to try something new. But let me address something important that comes up frequently in my practice. Cost concerns are real, and not everyone feels comfortable spending extra money on specialty foods. Here's the practical truth. You don't need to buy organic everything or shop at expensive health food stores. Regular spinach from any grocery store provides the same nitrate benefits. Frozen berries work just as well as fresh ones and are often more affordable. Even a small avocado can be stretched across several meals. The key is consistency, not perfection. Even if you can only incorporate 1 or 2 of these foods regularly, you're still supporting your circulation in meaningful ways. Your body will respond positively to any improvement in nutrition quality. William, who's 74 and lives on a fixed income, told me he started with just adding spinach to his eggs 3 mornings a week. After a month, he said, "I can afford to do this, and I definitely feel more like myself in the mornings. It's worth the small extra expense." Now, let me share some additional insights I've gathered from working with hundreds of men over the years. The morning routine is crucial, but it's part of a larger picture of circulation support that continues throughout the day. Many of my patients find that when they start the day with circulation-supporting foods, they naturally make better choices later. It's as if your body remembers what it feels like to be well-nourished and starts craving more of the same. This isn't willpower, it's your natural wisdom responding to better nutrition. I also want to address timing, because I get this question frequently. These foods work best when consumed within the first 2 hours of waking. Your circulation system is most responsive during this window, and your digestive system is primed to extract maximum nutrition from what you eat. If you're someone who doesn't typically eat breakfast, this might require a gentle adjustment period. Start small, maybe just a glass of diluted pomegranate juice or a few berries with yogurt. Your appetite will naturally increase as your body begins to expect and appreciate morning nutrition. Some men worry about digestive changes when adding more vegetables and fiber to their morning routine. This is normal and usually temporary. Your digestive system adapts quickly to better nutrition, typically within a week or 2. If you experience any persistent discomfort, that's worth mentioning to your doctor during your next visit. Speaking of doctors, I encourage you to bring this conversation to your next appointment. Most physicians are thrilled when their patients take proactive approaches to supporting their health. Share this information and ask if there are any specific considerations based on your individual health history. What questions would you ask your doctor about incorporating these circulation-supporting foods into your routine? I find that men who come prepared with specific questions get the most value from their medical appointments, and your questions could help other members of our community prepare for similar conversations with their healthcare providers. The research continues to evolve, and what excites me most is how these natural approaches complement traditional medical care rather than competing with it. We're not talking about replacing proven treatments, we're talking about giving your body the nutritional foundation it needs to respond better to whatever medical care you receive. Recent studies have also shown interesting connections between circulation health and cognitive function. The same foods that support blood flow to your reproductive system also improve blood flow to your brain. Many of my patients report feeling sharper and more mentally alert when they consistently follow these nutritional guidelines. David, a 69-year-old retired mechanic, mentioned this connection to me recently. He said, "Dr. Sarah, I started this for one reason, but I've noticed I'm thinking clearer too. My wife says I'm more present in conversations, and I feel like my memory is sharper." This makes perfect sense from a physiological standpoint. Your brain requires tremendous blood flow to function optimally, and the same vessels that support circulation throughout your body are supporting your cognitive health as well. Let me also address seasonal considerations, because I know some of these foods aren't equally available or affordable year-round. Frozen spinach works beautifully and is often more economical. Frozen berries maintain their nutritional value and can be added to oatmeal or yogurt directly from the freezer. During winter months when fresh pomegranates aren't available, pure pomegranate juice becomes more practical. The key principle is flexibility within consistency. Maintain the pattern of circulation supporting nutrition while adapting the specific foods to what's available and affordable in your location and season. I've also learned from my patients that preparation makes all the difference. Some men do better with a simple morning routine they can execute quickly, while others enjoy taking time to prepare a more elaborate breakfast. Both approaches work equally well from a nutritional standpoint. For those who prefer quick mornings, consider preparing smoothie ingredients in advance. You can portion out spinach, berries, and avocado into freezer bags, then blend with yogurt and liquid each morning. This takes less than 2 minutes but provides all the circulation benefits we've discussed. For men who enjoy cooking, this becomes an opportunity to experiment with different preparations. Spinach can be sautéed with garlic, berries can be warmed into a compote, avocado can be seasoned with herbs and spices. The variety keeps the routine interesting while maintaining the nutritional benefits. I want to emphasize something crucial that often gets overlooked in health discussions: the psychological benefits of taking control of your nutrition. Many men tell me that implementing this morning routine gives them a sense of agency over their aging process. Instead of feeling like passive victims of time, they feel like active participants in maintaining their health. This psychological shift often proves as important as the physical benefits. When you start each day knowing you've done something concrete to support your circulation and vitality, it affects how you approach everything else. Confidence builds on itself, and physical improvements reinforce psychological well-being. Robert, whom I mentioned earlier, captured this beautifully when he said, "I'm not trying to turn back the clock, but I am taking charge of how I age. That feels powerful." Another aspect I want to address is the social dimension of these changes. Many of my patients initially worry about how their wives or partners will react to dietary changes. In my experience, most partners are supportive, especially when they see positive results. Some couples even adopt these habits together, which often leads to better outcomes for both. James, who's 72 and married for 45 years, told me his wife initially teased him about his fancy breakfast. 6 months later, she was asking him to make enough for both of them because she liked how energetic she felt when eating the same foods. I also want to acknowledge that not every man will experience dramatic changes. Bodies are individual, and response times vary. Some men notice improvements within days, others require several weeks, and a few may need months of consistent nutrition before seeing significant changes. This doesn't mean the approach isn't working, it means your body has its own timeline for healing and optimization. Patience with yourself is as important as consistency with the nutrition plan. That said, most men do experience some level of improvement when they consistently support their circulation with proper morning nutrition. Even if the changes feel subtle, they're often noticeable to partners or family members who observe increases in energy, mood, and overall vitality. The research supports this patient experience. Studies consistently show that dietary interventions for circulation health demonstrate measurable benefits for most participants, even when individual responses vary in timing and intensity. Let me share some practical troubleshooting advice I've developed over the years. If you don't notice any changes after 4 weeks of consistent implementation, consider these adjustments. First, evaluate your consistency. Are you actually implementing these foods most mornings, or just occasionally? Your circulation system responds to patterns, not sporadic healthy choices surrounded by poor nutrition decisions. Second, consider portion sizes. Some men benefit from larger servings of these circulation-supporting foods, while others do better with smaller, more frequent amounts throughout the day. Third, look at what else you're eating. If you're supporting your circulation with good morning choices but undermining it with processed foods, excessive sugar, or foods that promote inflammation later in the day, you might not see the full benefits. Fourth, discuss any medications you're taking with your doctor. Some medications can affect circulation or interact with the foods we've discussed. This doesn't mean you can't benefit from better nutrition, but it might mean adjusting your approach. Finally, consider other lifestyle factors. Sleep quality, stress levels, physical activity, and hydration all impact circulation health. The foods we've discussed work best as part of an overall healthy lifestyle, not as isolated interventions. I've found that men who take this comprehensive approach, good nutrition plus attention to other lifestyle factors, see the most dramatic and sustained improvements. Let me also address alcohol consumption, since this question comes up frequently. Moderate alcohol intake doesn't necessarily interfere with circulation-supporting nutrition, but excessive drinking can undermine all your good efforts. Alcohol affects blood vessel function and can interfere with nutrient absorption. If you choose to drink, consider timing and quantity. Having alcohol with dinner rather than first thing in the morning allows your body to focus on nutrient absorption when you're implementing your circulation-supporting breakfast routine. Most of my patients find that as they feel better from improved nutrition, they naturally want less alcohol anyway. Your body starts preferring foods and drinks that support how good you feel rather than substances that temporarily mask how you feel. This brings me to an important point about sustainable changes. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress that you can maintain long-term. Some men try to implement every change at once and burn out within a few weeks. Others start slowly and build habits gradually, leading to changes they still maintain years later. I typically recommend starting with whichever food appeals to you most and adding others gradually. If you love berries, start there and add Greek yogurt after a week or two. If you're already eating eggs, begin by adding spinach to them. Small, sustainable changes compound over time into significant health improvements. The scientific literature supports this gradual approach as well. Studies show that people who make incremental dietary changes are more likely to maintain those changes long-term compared to those who attempt dramatic overnight transformations. Thomas, a 65-year-old retired accountant, exemplifies this approach perfectly. He started by adding blueberries to his morning oatmeal. After 2 weeks, he added Greek yogurt. A month later, he started including spinach. 6 months later, he had completely transformed his morning nutrition without ever feeling like he was forcing dramatic changes. Thomas told me, "Each change felt natural and easy because I wasn't trying to change everything at once. Now this is just how I eat, and I feel better than I have in years." Let me address one more concern that comes up frequently: what to do when traveling or when your normal routine gets disrupted. The key is flexibility and preparation. Most hotels offer oatmeal or eggs, and you can usually find berries and yogurt. Spinach might be harder to find, but many places offer salads with mixed greens that provide similar benefit. For business travel, I suggest packing a small container of high-quality protein powder that includes greens, plus some dried berries or nuts. This ensures you can create a circulation-supporting breakfast even in challenging circumstances. The principle is maintaining the pattern while adapting the specifics to your situation. Your body benefits from consistency, but it doesn't require perfect adherence to exact foods every single day. I've also learned that men often worry unnecessarily about temporary disruptions. If you maintain good nutrition most of the time, occasional departures won't undo your progress. Your circulation system is remarkably forgiving and responds positively to overall patterns rather than demanding perfection. Now, let me share some insights about timing results and what realistic expectations look like. In my practice, I typically tell patients to commit to 6 weeks of consistent implementation before evaluating results. This gives your body time to adjust and respond without creating unrealistic pressure for immediate changes. Week 1 often involves digestive adjustment as your system adapts to different foods and increased fiber intake. This is normal and temporary. Week 2 to 3 is when most men start noticing subtle energy improvements, particularly in morning vitality and sustained energy throughout the day. Week 4 to 6 typically brings more noticeable circulation improvements, including better response to physical activity and increased overall sense of well-being. Beyond 6 weeks, the benefits tend to compound. Many of my patients report that their best results come after several months of consistent implementation, when these foods become truly integrated into their lifestyle, rather than feeling like a temporary intervention. This timeline aligns with what we know about cellular renewal and blood vessel adaptation. Your body is constantly regenerating, but it takes time for improved nutrition to influence this renewal process throughout your circulation system. I want to conclude by emphasizing the empowerment that comes from taking control of your health through evidence-based nutrition. Many men feel helpless about aging, as if declining vitality is simply inevitable and uncontrollable. What I've learned from decades of practice is that while aging is inevitable, the degree of decline you experience is often much more within your control than you might realize. The foods we've discussed aren't magic, but they are powerful tools that work with your body's natural healing and maintenance processes. When you provide your circulation system with the nutrition it needs to function optimally, remarkable improvements become possible at any age. Your body wants to be healthy and vital. Sometimes it just needs the right nutritional support to express that potential. These circulation-supporting foods provide exactly that support, backed by solid research and proven in real-world application with thousands of men just like you. If this evidence-based approach to supporting your circulation and vitality resonates with you, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel for more practical health information that honors both scientific research and your partnership with your healthcare provider. Please share this information with other men who might benefit from understanding how breakfast choices can impact their circulation and overall well-being. Together, we can help more people access the nutritional knowledge they need to age with strength,